But round 7's wrapping up. A lot of players went through quickly. It's been a long day for them, so the speed of play was pretty high for the last match. So we do have some highlights from one of the matches. This matchup already took place a little bit ago, but we're going to jump in and show you guys game number 5 between dude7597 and killinallday. 2 players that are 4-2, looking to get 5-2 and hoping to make it in with tiebreakers.
Yeah, to give you guys an idea of where the bracket breaks down, we had 1 player at 6-0, Doc Pone. We had 6 players coming into the round at 5-1, and then there were 16 players tied with 4-2 records as we come to round 7 close. So that 8th spot looks like it's going to be really close in terms of who gets it. Tiebreakers paramount after this last round.
Yeah, so all of these 4-2 players going into the round, hopeful if they had good early starts, which killinallday started off the day 4-0. Dude had a little bit of a rough start, but he brought it back towards the end of the day and had some good opponents. So he can hope that if he wins this matchup, his tiebreakers are good enough to get him to that top 8. Again, it's all about strength of your opponents when it comes to those tiebreakers. So a lot of players going to be sad at the end of the day with a 5-2 finish, but a few will be happy that they're moving on to the top 8.
Yeah, that's right. Dude here playing the Rogue, this was a really tough matchup for him. Not only has killinallday started with Sir Finley Murgleton and replaced 2 extra armor with 2 extra damage instead, but the nature of the matchup is also just very poor. killinallday trying to simply run over Dude as quickly as possible, and Dude with no real way to protect his life total, only ways to fight for the board. If he can't fight for the board, he loses it and the damage snowballs.
Yeah, this is just a really tough matchup from the get-go. The series leading up to this, Dude actually went up to a 2-1 lead, and killinallday brought it back, but close series. I mean, these guys are evenly matched. These guys were also practice partners during Dude's run through the summer championships. I remember, killinallday lives very close to the studios here in California where we broadcast the playoffs and the championships last year. And he came to help Dude out with some practice later on in the summer season. So they're definitely familiar with each other.
Yeah. Dude also recently joined with NRG alongside Amujak. So big team thing.
Big team thing there, yeah. There's a lot of camaraderie with a lot of the NA players. I talked about it on the chalkboard earlier, in my chalkboard segment. Remember that?
I do.
That was cool. That was a little bit ago.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and yeah, it's we're going to check out the chalkboard later too, so I'm excited for it.
Yeah, this start here though, very quickly being punished from Dude. South Sea Captain attaches, try to trade up, and just the massive swings here early on. The Bloodsail Raider getting the extra power from that Fiery War Axe, the discount on Dread Corsair, just taking the board turn after turn. It's really tough for Dude to really fight back on board when he's facing down Fiery War Axe. Most of his early minions are simply vulnerable to that weapon.
Yeah, it's a catalyst in winning these matchups. Catalyst, it's been a catalyst in Warrior for
ever.
What, 5 years? How long has Hearthstone been out?
1997, I feel like.
Yeah, about 20 years. About 20 years it's been a staple.
And my grandpa was actually a famous Priest player.
Only 90s kids will get it.
And speaking of getting it, Dude's about to. This board, not too well checked. Just add a small-time Buccaneer to the board, eviscerate on the 2-drop.
Oh, Leroy drawn.
The damage is just really, it's so hard to check when killinallday has steady shot from Sir Finley. That just compounds the issue so much more. When that happens for killinallday, I imagine his win rate's got to just be through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about this matchup that you touched on a little bit earlier is you spend so much time fighting for the board. You spend so much time trying to take the Pirate Warrior minions off the board that you don't build your own threats, and you never gain health as a rogue. It's like every time something damages you, that damage sticks. Unless you pick up something crazy with Swashbuckler or Shaku the Collector, like Bash, Shield Block, the Armorsmith, yeah.
Something crazy.
Something along those lines. Which happens to me every time I play against Rogue, by the way. You're not gaining health.
Bash would be a strong pickup here for Dude, and this kind of speaking to the desperation where he just plays Tomb Pillager on the board and doesn't really think much of it. And there you see one of the tech choices for killinallday, trying to improve that Pirate Warrior matchup. He's included Bloodhoof Brave simply to stave off damage and have a body that is fairly effective in Pirate Warrior matches.
Yeah, just for the mirror match. And here's a situation where killinallday is, you know, thinking about going all face. This is how you win this matchup. Sometimes you just ignore the minions and just hit everything to the face.
And it makes perfect sense in this spot. He's taken the lead, and dude had no impact on his board on the previous turn. So if you push all this damage now, you have Leroy in hand. How does dude win from here?
Yeah, as long as he can't go into next turn expecting Leroy plus Steady Shot because of the mana. But as long as he connects 1 damage and then stays alive for 2 turns, he wins this matchup. You know, aside from crazy taunts or heals or life gain, Fierce Monkey's a taunt.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like Shadow Step the Swashbuckler is the final hurrah here for dude. I don't really see any other ways for him to stave off damage.
This guy's toast.
Psy 7 agent. He's gonna. This helps a little bit, but as you mentioned, just 1 minion needs to connect for that to be the case.
This guy's toast.
Yeah. Well, killing all day, I mean, it all depends on if he holds on to Leroy. If he holds on to Leroy here, he might get punished by the Fierce Monkey.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
So, you know, killing all day should know that there's, you know, life gain. If there's too much life gain, he's not going to beat it. But if there's a taunt, like the Ally Armorsmith, like Fierce Monkey,
like Bloodhoof Brave,
then he needs to get the damage in now, so that way he can play around those types of things. So now he's going to
the damage now too. Very wise, killing all day here.
And that's effectively checkmate for killing all day, unless dude draws some type of steal effect.
He needs to piece together a mere 16 points of damage this turn with these cards in hand.
I'm no mathematician, but that seems impossible. It's impossible. Dude's dead.
A strong run through to this stage. Top 4 at the Summer Championship in 2016, but his run comes to an end in this match. Killing all day, able to seize it 3 games to 2. The dream matchup in game number 5. What more could you want?
Yeah, and so that means Killing All Day moves to 5-2. Started off the day 4-0. So Killing All Day actually has I think a really good chance as far as tiebreakers are concerned. Dude moves to 4-3, so like you mentioned, eliminated from contention. But it's going to be, you know, up to the strength of opponents for Killing All Day, looking at his record throughout the entire event, the entire playoffs, to see if he's going to make it through. Yeah,
and that's just what the mercy of the tiebreakers you're at that point. Not much you can do about it. Got to win some of those matches early, and that's really what it boils down to. You have to put together good runs.
All right, well, to give you guys some final wrap-up thoughts at the conclusion of round number 7, it's Dan and Brian Kibler.